They told you the Marines were built on courage, on brotherhood, on honor. But that's not what keeps them alive. Because when the noise hits, when fear locks your body, when thinking is too slow, when hesitation means death, honor doesn't save you, systems do. And one man understood that better than anyone else. His name was John Styers. Most people don't know him. No movies, no motivational quotes, no flashy philosophy. Yet his work sits quietly inside one of the most dangerous fighting forces on Earth. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The Marines don't train to win fights. They train to delete hesitation. John Styers didn't build a martial art. He built a mental operating system, one designed for chaos, fear, and exhaustion. A system that works when your mind is screaming to quit. While traditional martial arts teach perfection, Styers trained ugliness. While others focused on technique, he focused on behavior under stress. Because in real combat, your body doesn't rise to your training, it falls to your conditioning. And Styers knew something most people don't want to hear. The human brain is weak under fear. So you don't inspire it, you override it. That's why this system feels brutal, why it looks simple, why it's terrifyingly effective. It's not meant to make you feel confident, it's meant to make you function. And once you understand what John Styers actually created, you'll never look at discipline, training, or even your own fear the same way again. Because this isn't about fighting, it's about what happens when everything goes wrong. 1. Why most training fails when it matters. Here's something nobody likes to admit. Most people don't fail because they're weak. They fail because their training lies to them. It tells them, stay calm, think clearly, use technique. But fear doesn't ask permission. When real violence hits, the brain doesn't become heroic. It becomes primitive. Heart rate spikes. Vision narrows, fine motor skills disappear, memory fragments. And in that moment, all the beautiful techniques, all the perfect drills, all the confidence collapse. John Styers saw this early. He understood that training which only works in calm environments is fantasy training. Real combat doesn't reward skill. It rewards behavior that survives stress. So instead of asking, how do we make better fighters? He asked something more dangerous. How do we make humans function when their brain is breaking down? 2. Who John Styers really was and why he was different. John Styers wasn't a philosopher. He wasn't a martial arts celebrity. He was a Marine, a man who lived inside chaos long enough to see patterns others ignored. He didn't care about tradition. He didn't care about belts. He didn't care about elegance. He cared about outcomes. Did the Marine stay alive? Did the Marine keep moving? Did the Marine finish the mission? If the answer was yes, the system worked. If not, it was trash. That mindset alone made him dangerous. Because once you stop protecting tradition, you're free to destroy what doesn't work. And that's exactly what he did. 3. The core idea. Conditioning over confidence. Most systems try to make you feel confident. Styers didn't trust confidence, because confidence disappears under pressure. Instead, he focused on conditioning. Conditioning means this: you don't rise to motivation, you fall to your lowest programmed response. So Styers designed training that removed choice. No thinking, no hesitation, no debate, just action. The body moves before fear finishes its sentence. That's not bravery, that's programming. And the scary part? It works on anyone. 4. Why the system looks simple, and why that's the trap. People who see Styers' system for the first time often laugh. This is too basic. This won't work against a trained fighter. This isn't technical enough. That reaction is predictable. Because the human ego loves complexity. But complexity is fragile. Under stress, the brain can only handle gross motor movement, big, aggressive, violent actions. Styers stripped techniques down to what the body can still perform when adrenaline hijacks the nervous system. No fancy locks, no perfect stances, no memorized sequences, just movements that survive fear. Simplicity isn't weakness, it's survivability. 5. The real enemy: hesitation. Here's the truth most people never face. The most dangerous enemy is not the attacker. It's the pause. That half second where your brain asks, "Should I? What if? Is this allowed?" That pause gets people hurt. John Styers designed his system to kill hesitation. Not through motivation, not through speeches, through repetition under stress. You don't convince the brain. You exhaust its ability to resist. Eventually, action becomes automatic, and automatic beats skilled every time when chaos is involved. 6. Why stress was built into the training. Styers didn't create calm training environments. He created controlled suffering, fatigue, pressure, confusion. Why? Because the brain needs to learn this feeling is not new. Fear only paralyzes when it's unfamiliar. Once your nervous system has visited that place enough times, it stops panicking. Not because you're fearless, but because fear no longer feels special. That's conditioning. And once fear loses its power, you gain freedom of action. 7. The uncomfortable truth about discipline. People think discipline is about control. Styers understood something deeper. Discipline is about obedience to programming. In combat, you don't have time to choose who you want to be. You become what you've rehearsed. That's why his system doesn't ask, "What's the right move?" It asks, "What will you do automatically?" And then it designs the answer. This is why Marines trained under this philosophy don't freeze. They don't look brave. They look inevitable. 8. Why this system scares people. This system scares people because it removes comfort. There's no ego reward, no illusion of mastery, no spiritual justification, just reality. It forces you to confront the fact that you are not as in control as you think. Your mind is not your ally under stress. Your habits decide your fate. Most people would rather believe they'll figure it out. Styers knew better. And once you see that truth, you can't unsee it. How this applies beyond combat. This isn't just about fighting. The same freeze response shows up in confrontation, public pressure, high-stakes decisions, fear of failure. Your brain reacts the same way. The lesson Styers leaves behind is brutal but empowering. You don't change behavior with intention. You change it with repetition under discomfort. That's how identity is built. That's how fear is rewritten. That's how action replaces doubt. 9. The legacy John Styers left behind. John Styers didn't create heroes. He created functioning humans in chaos. His work lives on not because it's pretty, but because it refuses to lie. It accepts human weakness, then designs around it. And that may be the most dangerous idea of all. Because once you stop pretending you're special, you can finally become effective. 10. Final reframe. So the real question isn't, is this system brutal? The question is, does it work when everything goes wrong? John Styers answered that question. And once you understand his mindset, you'll stop chasing confidence. You'll start building certainty. Not the emotional kind, the programmed kind. John Styers never asked you to feel powerful. He didn't promise confidence. He didn't sell belief. He didn't care if you felt inspired, because inspiration disappears the moment pressure arrives. What he gave instead was something colder and far more reliable: function. When fear floods the system, when the body wants to freeze, when the mind starts bargaining for safety, that's when his work shows its value. Not in victory poses, not in highlight reels, but in the quiet moments where someone keeps moving while others stop. And that's the part that unsettles people, because it forces a hard realization. You are not defined by what you intend to do. You are defined by what you do automatically, under stress, under pressure, when no one is watching. John Styers understood human weakness so clearly that he stopped fighting it. He engineered around it. And once you see training through that lens, once you understand that fear isn't conquered by courage, but by conditioning, you can't go back to pretending. So the next time you think about discipline, about strength, about who you really are when things go wrong, ask yourself one question: what am I programmed to do? Because when the moment arrives, that answer is all that matters.